So do you ever feel like you are trying to get enough sleep, you're trying to cover everything that you have to do in a day, you're trying to balance all these different portions of your life, but you're just at a point where you feel drained? And I feel like everyone gets to that point. It happens all the time. But I do have some energy hacks that I wanted to share with you guys. That way you can kind of implement them into your life, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you. But I really do feel that at some point, everyone gets overwhelmed. Everyone gets to a point where they feel like they're always tired. And it is not fun. And sometimes a million coffees a day cannot fix that for you. But I'm going to go through a few of the things that I use to try and boost my energy when I feel like that. So I've been trying out other things lately that are kind of more natural, more lifestyle based, but I wanted to share those with you guys. But first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kate, and I make videos at least twice a week on Thursdays and Saturdays on this channel. So if you want, you can definitely subscribe. Thumbs up this video at the end if you liked it, but hopefully these tips help you. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'll start with the most obvious ones, the really basics of trying to get more energy in your life and trying not to be so tired all the time. And then I'm going to go to the ones that you might not think about as much toward the end of the list. Number one is going to be sleep schedule. So this sounds really obvious, but if the sleep schedule that you're using right now isn't working, definitely change things up. Try with a 1 hour change or a 2 hour change at a time and see if that helps you. See if maybe getting up a little bit earlier helps you and going to sleep 1 hour earlier helps you, even though you're getting the same time amount of sleep. Maybe having some more time in the morning before you go to work to kind of wake up to get everything started. Maybe that's what's going to help you. Maybe just going to bed earlier in general is going to help you. Maybe getting everything done the night before and then having a little bit of extra time to sleep in the morning before work. Maybe that helps you. But you have to really find a sleep schedule that works for you, because if you're waking up and you're feeling just drained and exhausted as when you went to sleep, something is wrong. So that needs to be adjusted. There's plenty of different types of sleep schedules out there. I will try and find some links too on sleep schedules, and I'll link them down below because that'll be way easier than trying to explain them, because I'm by no means an expert on sleep schedule. Also making sure that before you go to bed, you're doing the right thing so that you're being in a calm and relaxed environment. Making sure that you didn't drink too much coffee during the day, because that can of course keep you up at night. Making sure that you kind of have the ability to turn your brain off when you get into the bed so that you're not stressing over every single thing that's going on in your life right now, and instead you can focus on getting some rest, getting some sleep. And it does help, even if you are having trouble falling asleep, it does help to lay in bed and to relax and to, even if you're not falling asleep, you're not getting that deep sleep yet, any time that you spend just relaxing and having to yourself is going to be something that's beneficial for you and your body and your mind. But yeah, sleep schedule is one of the obvious ones. One of the second ones that's pretty obvious, of course, is going to be your diet. So lately I've been trying something a little bit different, and I feel like it has helped because I was feeling very drained, very tired all the time. And so I started a vegetarian lifestyle, and what I'm doing right now is I'm transitioning from eating fish to not eating fish. So at first, about a month ago, I was starting off, I was like, okay, I'm still gonna eat fish, I'm still gonna have salmon, I'm still gonna have just a few select things that I like that are fish, because I don't eat a ton of fish in the first place. So I was eating that maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and then I started bringing it down to like 3 times a week, 2 times a week, once a week. And then now I'm at the point where I don't really feel like I need it. It's not something that's necessary in my diet anymore. And I do feel like I have a little bit more energy. It could also be based on some other things that are going on in my life right now. Of course, it's hard to tell if that's exactly what it's from, but it does seem like it helps make me feel a lot lighter. And before, I felt like I was really heavy, like when I ate or after I ate, or I wasn't feeling good all the time. And before, I've had like issues with being under a lot of stress and having that really hurt my stomach, and I was having like a lot of stomach issues. So I feel like cutting out the things that aren't working for me in my diet is something that's good, and it's not the same for everyone. Sometimes people feel that being vegetarian or being vegan helps them with energy, and some people don't. Some people feel like that's not something that's beneficial to them. So of course, experiment and try things. Remove one thing from your diet that's not healthy, or add something to your diet that is healthy. Make a few changes, because there are some foods that are known to lead to more energy. So for example, some of those foods are going to be nuts, apples, bananas. Even like when you're tired during the day, like having peppermint is a good thing. It can kind of wake you up for a little bit. But yeah, like eliminating those heavy foods, like the super heavy cheeses, or like really greasy meats or like greasy anything, really fried foods. Those are things that of course are going to weigh you down and they're going to make you feel more tired. Also, eggs are another food that I found kind of help boost my energy, especially since I'm not eating actual meat right now. I have kept eggs in my diet because I feel like that gives me more energy, that gives me the protein. There's something about it that kind of sparks my energy for the day, and I usually do that in the morning, or I'll have oatmeal in the morning, just something healthy and nutritious to start your day off with. That really kind of gets your day started off on the right foot. If you have something heavy that's like kind of draining to you, it's not going to get you started off the right way. And that's something to really be conscious of. The way that you start your day is going to kind of lead to the productivity and the energy that you have throughout the day. The other thing too is that for some people, more iron helps them. I know that anemia is a big problem, especially I think it's a lot more common among women if I'm not mistaken, but I know that when you add more iron to your diet, it can help you if that's a problem for you specifically. I found that doesn't really change too much for me. I've been told that I'm anemic before, but I felt that like the change in the iron, eating or having more foods that are rich in iron, or even taking iron pills, I found that it didn't really help me that much personally. So it all depends on how your body feels when you do those things, but those are definitely some things to try as far as diet goes. So another one is going to be drinking water. It is absolutely crucial that you drink water. And I never was really that conscious of how much water I was drinking in a day because I wasn't drinking that much. But I feel like it is a little bit drier here in California than where I used to live. And specifically here, I feel myself like wanting water more often, or maybe it's just that it's hotter. I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel myself wanting water more often. So I've started carrying a water bottle that I like. And I think that that's kind of the trick to it too. So of course you don't want to really be super wasteful. You don't want to use the plastic bottles all the time. Sometimes it gets into a crunch and you use them. Everybody does it, but really trying to cut down on the plastic is a good thing too, just for the environment. But I like to carry a water bottle that I like. So I got one of those hydro, what are they called? The hydro flat? I'm gonna Google it because I want to show you guys. It's really cute. But I got a water bottle that I liked, so that way I know that I'm going to continue to use it. I know that I don't want to lose it or like leave it somewhere. Hydro flask, that's what it's called. I got a really cute one and it has been a really good thing for me. I got a big one. It's kind of like this big. I wish I had it around to show you guys, but it's all the way in the kitchen and I don't want to go get it. But I got one of those, or really any larger water bottle that has a handle to it, because that way I find myself taking it everywhere. I'll throw it in my backpack. I'll just take it somewhere with me. It's a really good thing to have with you, because whenever you're craving something or you're thirsty, normally when I'm out and I don't have anything with me, my first like thing that comes to me decision wise is going to be, okay, let me stop somewhere and grab a drink. It's not always let me go and get a bottle of water. It's, oh, let me stop and get a drink, and I usually end up getting a lemonade or a tea or something that has sugar in it and that is not good. You want to try and stick with the water. Make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. So what I did in my fridge now, instead of having the sugary drinks like I normally have, I normally keep a box of Capri Suns in the fridge, and then I keep one also in the cabinet in case I run out of fridge Capri Suns. So I've stopped doing that now. I've wanted to focus more on water, and I was buying a bunch of lemonade, a bunch of strawberry lemonade, raspberry lemonade, peach lemonade, all the stuff that has all the sugar. So I started leaving those alone. I feel like that has helped me a lot too. And I drink water all day while I'm at work. I have tried not to drink other things except for water, especially alcohol. Alcohol is another one that will get you. It's not, of course, we all know that sometimes every once in a while you want to drink something. That's not a big deal. That's fine. But when you're getting into a situation where you feel like tired and drained all the time, that's certainly not helping your situation. It's just making things worse, of course. So you want to make sure that you stick to water. Really start making the habit of going for water when you're thirsty. So the next one is going to be about caffeine. So of course you don't want to overload on coffee. You don't want to be drinking 10 cups of coffee a day, but of course 1 cup of coffee in the morning every day is something that's not going to be terrible for you, as long as you're not doing it with a ton of sugar and a ton of cream. So that's something that I wanted to change too. So I recently started changing everything that I drink over to either having straight black coffee if I get it from Starbucks or wherever, or I'll get a more like specialty drink, but I'll sub it for almond milk. It still has the sugar in it. That's something where I'm still working on cutting that back in my diet, but I really have been getting good with going with just the black coffee, adding just a little bit of almond milk to it, and then being good there. Or if I get a specialty drink for like, I don't know, maybe once or twice a week, and then that'll have the sugar in it, but it'll also be replaced with almond milk. So I found that that doesn't impact like how I feel as much throughout the day, because I'm not having the sugar crash on top of the caffeine crash. So I've really been trying to cut out the sugary portion of it. I don't mind having the coffee here and there, but when I do go too much coffee, and I don't know if this happens to a lot of you guys, but when I feel like when I have too much coffee, I start like overanalyzing every portion of my life, and it causes a lot of anxiety. So I wanted to get rid of that too, because the more that I stress during the day, the more tired I'm gonna be. So I wanted to cut at least partially out caffeine. I don't think that caffeine is a bad thing altogether. I want to keep some of it in my diet. I like that extra boost. Sometimes you feel like you really need it. But the sugary portions of it and all the dairy that's in it, I wanted to kind of start leaving those things out. So I think that's a really good tip if you are looking to, if you're really dependent on coffee, but you're also going for those specialty drinks, kind of cutting down on those can be a really good thing. Okay, so this next one is something that I am guilty of not doing, but I know that it helps a lot of people. So exercising is a really, really good thing if you're looking to get a better sleep at night and also to wake up feeling more refreshed. So once you really get into a cycle of exercising, it does help. And I've done this before where I was exercising consistently every day, going to bed at a certain time, and it helped my energy so much. And I felt so healthy. Like, you know, when you get done at the gym and you feel like you really did something that was good for your body, you did something that was good for you, and that's how you feel. You have this positive energy once you're done. You go to sleep feeling good, you wake up feeling good, and it's just a really healthy cycle to put yourself on because you know that you're doing something that's good for your body. It also uses up a lot of your energy if you're doing it in the evening, which is a good thing in case you have problems with insomnia, you have trouble falling asleep, or it takes you a long time to fall asleep. Exercising at night can be a really good thing for you. So another one, and I actually learned this one from my mom, but use light. So a lot of the feelings that we have are based off of like what time of day it is and what we can see outside. So when it's really gloomy, rainy day, you feel like you kind of want to stay in bed and you want to sleep and you want to snuggle up just and chill all day. That's the feeling that you have because of what it feels like outside and that mood that it gives you. Now, when it's sunny outside, you feel like you want to go out and you want to do something, you want to make use of the day, you want to use that sunlight. So really that gives you sort of an energy, and I try to keep my windows open. I have like a big window right here. You can see like the natural light through it. I try to keep that window open even when I'm just relaxing in my room because it gives me more energy. Now, another thing too that some people do, because not everyone lives in a state where it's sunny all the time. So a lot of people, or at least this is what my mom was talking about, a lot of people will get the lights, kind of like a little light box. I've seen them on Amazon before. If I can find one, I'll link it below. But it's kind of just like a outdoor light simulator. So you can place it around your house or your apartment. It kind of can give you an extra boost of energy because you have that little bit of extra light there. So the next one is probably the most important one, at least in my opinion. So this one's very, very important. It's to keep stress out of your life. If you want to feel energized, you want to feel positive, you want to feel healthy, keep the stress out of your life. And I know it can be very hard because sometimes you have stressful factors in your life that of course you don't have control over, and also sometimes you have stressful factors that you don't even realize that you have. So really take a moment, evaluate your life, evaluate what you're going through, evaluate the people around you and the things that are happening. Because if you're so stressed because of a situation or because of people, of course, sometimes there are things that you can't change, but a lot of times there are things that you can change. And even in situations that are tough, that are stressful, that are hard, you do have control over how you feel. So you want to make sure that if there is a stressful factor that you can't remove from your life, that you're dealing with it in a way that's healthy, in a way that's productive for you. And if there is something in your life that you can change and that you have control over, that you change it. I have people that talk to me all the time about being in a job that stresses them out, or a job that they don't like, or something that they dread going to in the morning, but they're still there. And it's not just that they're trying to wait till they get on their feet for another month, or they're trying to get one more check before they leave and they do something else. It's that they end up staying for extra years, and that can cause so much stress on you mentally and emotionally that it starts to cause stress on your body, and that's something that makes you tired. It makes you feel drained, and that's something that none of us want. So you have to really evaluate where you are in your life, evaluate what is stressing you out, evaluate the environment that you're in, the people that you're with, and what you're doing to yourself, because sometimes you're your own stress factor. Sometimes there are things that you don't need to be stressed over, that you don't need to worry over, and I know that it's hard to let go of those things, but it's for your own personal health. So it's something where you have to kind of take that time to self-reflect, look at your situation, look at the big picture, and really see what's going to be worth it for you to change so that you can feel better. Another thing as far as mood and stress factors go, really when you first wake up in the morning, what I like to do is to just get ready to focus on things that I need to do today and to be positive. So that's one reason why I don't watch the news in the morning. And this is something that's a personal preference. I feel like a lot of things are very negative, and that's something that I mentally can't deal with first thing in the morning. It's not to say that they're not important. Of course, world events are important, but I feel like a lot of times the news is very geared toward negative things, and that doesn't put me in the right mood in the morning. So it makes me feel tired. It makes me feel like, okay, well, what's the point? And that's never something that you want to get up out of the bed feeling that way. So I do check the news later on in the day when it's something that I feel like I can process better and that I can handle better. And like I said, first thing in the morning, it's just not the thing for me, and it might be something that you want to change too. Okay, so this next one has to do with your environment. So one tip that I found really helps me, and that I think helps a lot of people, is to keep your environment clean. So make sure that your room is clean, your apartment is clean, your house is clean. That way you don't have all these stress factors going on in your head. It deals with stress once again, because mental health is very important when it comes to feeling tired or happy or overwhelmed or sad or any really feeling. When it comes to the environment that you live in, you are here for quite a bit of the day. Same thing as your work environment goes. If you want to make sure that you have a clean desk area, a clean area around you, that way you know you don't have that stress factor even when you go home and try to go to bed. You're not thinking about things that are going on at work. Really just trying to clear out any clutter, anything that could make your head a harder place to be, if that makes sense. You want to clear out anything that could be stressful to you. I love sleeping in a clean room. You know that you feel accomplished because you got everything done in the house that you needed to. You have this sense of accomplishment, just like with working out, like I said before. You have this sense of accomplishment, you have these good feelings, these positive vibes that you're going to bed with, and it can always help. Now, one more thing that I feel like people wait too long to do sometimes is when they've tried everything and they feel like they've really put effort into not feeling so tired all the time, see your doctor. See if there's anything that is wrong physically, because sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's due to an underlying medical condition that you don't know about. And even though you're trying all these things to help your life, it might help a little bit, but if you're still feeling unbearably tired, you can definitely see your doctor. Definitely make an appointment. That is something that I always recommend to people first and foremost, so that they can see if there's anything physically wrong, because if not, then that means that the problem most likely is something that's emotional or mental. So it's something that you do have power over, something that you can deal with, but you always want to make sure that you kind of clear out anything that could be wrong first. So those are all of the tips that I have for you guys. Those are some of the things that have worked for me when it comes to not feeling so tired all the time. So I've gotten a lot more energy just by making sure that my mind is in the right spot, I'm going to sleep on time, I'm eating the right foods, and I'm trying to work on exercising. That's coming soon. I'm a work in progress. But yeah, hopefully if you change at least one of these things, that way you can take a step toward not feeling so tired all the time. Try to implement one at a time. See if it works for you. Try and play around with it a little bit. See what makes you feel better. That's what it's all about. So if you guys have any questions or any comments for me, let me know what you do to not feel so tired all the time in the comments. And if you like this video, which I hope you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Like I said, I make videos on Thursdays and Saturdays, sometimes more, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications button so you can be notified when I have new uploads. I will see you next time. Bye guys. Yo, sitting cross-legged for 20 minutes?